Okay, this was kind of like lumberjack week. We were busy the whole week with wood. We decided to cut down a whole bunch of our trees. Some of them needed to come down anyway, and some of them we just decided to fall because, yeah, we are gonna take this lot to be cut into boards, and we're actually gonna use our own trees on our house, which is kind of cool in a way. It's nice to know that the trees from the property here kind of stay and find their place. Right, so in the end, it was actually a pretty busy week by the time we had done all the falling and cleaning up and the branches. And yeah, we ended up renting a front loader so that we could pile all the logs up here by the road so they can be picked up before they go to be cut. And whew, busy but nice to be working outside compared to last week, which was in the basement.
So I know I said all we did was trees, but actually we started the week looking into our well. We're super stoked that we have a well on the property. So we dropped a pump down there and yeah, we're going to check out how much water's there, how fast it comes back, and we'll have to do some water tests to find out if we can use it in the house or not. Okay, onto the trees. They started off pretty carefully with the first one, but by tree number 10, they'd gotten pretty fast at following them. So here we are in the far corner of the property, and the trees were much bigger here. Luckily, we were able to borrow this gas-powered winch, and it could pull 1.5 tons, and it was great because it just kind of secured the fall direction. It turned out it wasn't quite powerful enough to pull our 5-meter logs, but it helped us a lot with the cleanup and pulling out some of the smaller firewood. Anyway, here we are on the back corner of the property. Here's our newest victim. There's the garage, and here we are looking up towards the house. And just to make things more interesting, 30 minutes later, there was just a snowstorm. Crazy because it's May. On the first day, my job was actually climb up the tree and secure the chain so that we could attach the winch. We rented a front loader and it was great for everything. We could move our big logs around. We used it to clean up all of the branches that were laid everywhere. And the kids had fun driving it too. Anyway, let's take a look. This is the back side of the property, so back behind the villa, an area we don't actually see from the house, but it looks pretty crazy with everything down. Can barely walk through here. Here's the other side. You can see that the front loader sunk in quite a bit in some places. Let's go around the corner. Whew, so many branches to clean up. So I decided if the trees had to come down, I wanted to have some fun too. So I also felled one. Of course, all the trees that got cut down had to be delimbed and cut into sections. But actually, that was probably my favorite part of the work this week. So the men said they'd watch the baby for a little bit, and I came by to look. They're here busy collecting our logs at the road, and little Miss Emily is in the forest.
Hi, Emily.
Noah also thought it was pretty cool to ride in the front loader with Dad.
Hi.
So let's take a look. Here in the area in front of our own house, we left all the trees, so we have nice coverage from the street. But here by the broken villa, we did take quite a bit out. So Dominic used the front loader to push all of these just giant piles of branches together. We'll probably run them through a wood chipper later when they're a little bit drier. Yeah, and we'll have to fix this area where the front loader sunk in, but it's not too bad. We can walk over here towards the neighbors and the bowling alley. Take a look on the other side. Yeah, and it does look a little sad, doesn't it? Lots of tree stumps, lots of dead and down. Most of the trees we took out were like these giant ones here, though. They were either rotten or they were kind of exposed to the wind and didn't offer a lot of coverage in terms of view to the road anyway.
Hi.
They didn't have very
What
many
you doing?
low-laying branches.
Hello.
So here's one of our 2-wood piles. This is the larger of the two. And if we walk up here in front of the villa along the road, here's our second pile, and down on the other side of the White House, back in the corner, then we have a third pile. Since we want to actually use our own wood to build later, we really needed to know how much we had. So everything got numbered, measured, length, diameter, and we actually found a kind of cool app for it. It's from Stier, and we could, enter every single log, and it automatically calculated for us how much usable wood we have. So we were able to calculate the boards that we'll need for our roof, and hopefully some wooden siding. Yeah, there we go. Here's the app. In the end, I think we had 64 5-meter chunks, although some of them were probably too small or too crooked to be used.
Well, thanks for watching. That was our week. Right, these guys are going to get picked up, taken to be cut, and the boards will dry over the winter and probably most of next spring, and next year they'll be used on our roof, among other things.
And the discoveries continued, little odds and ends. We got so many old keys from one of our neighbors. All of the keys are for the villa or, the outbuildings or the house. Some of them we've already figured out what they're for, and some of them not. One of them was for the transformer substation that's on our property that we also own. So we got to look in here. Everything looks like it's in, perfect condition, even though it hasn't been active for 30 years. We'll have to decide what to do with this. We do know that there are 2 high voltage power cables that run across the property. So it's just seems to be such a dynamic process. We're trying to decide what to do with our sewage, if we want to have a little septic field or if we want to, attach to the city. And one of our questions is, of course, how can we cross the cables? So bit by bit, there's lots going on at the house, but there's lots of organization and business things happening on the sidelines as well. So next week we'll be back to the house, still busy taking out walls and, unneeded gyprock and rubble. Should be a little bit more interesting. See you then.